Scooter, hey, congratulations for the friendship game.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
I want to describe it as such a mind-bending psychological thriller, but let's ask that basic question. What initially attracted you to a project like this?
Yeah, I would probably classify it as a cosmic horror. And I think what sort of attracted me to it was the idea of what cosmic horrors sort of represent. They're like an exploration in madness. And I think there's something inherently interesting about a group of teenagers leaving high school, where your friends are your lifeline, where they are everything that you hold dear. And when you split up, the stakes feel like they're life and death. I find that pretty interesting in an exploration of madness. So yeah, I would call it a cosmic horror for sure.
I didn't know cosmic horror is its own subgenre itself. So how would you approach a film like this?
I think the best way to sort of approach the friendship game, I think from an audience member specifically, is that it is, it's a fun ride. It's a teenage horror movie. I think it's character first, which is something I'm always interested in. So I love a drama. I love a horror. This isn't your sort of straightforward horror movie. It is really sort of engaged within character first. So everything's about relationships. Everything's about these teenagers. And then it goes into sort of a twisted Lovecraftian way. So.
Well, you have four interesting characters. Could you tell about the steps that how you wanted to tell the story by dividing it into chapters?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is funny because we kind of do that a little bit in the movie. Each different character sort of brings their own thing. Now it is approaching this film, I think, looking at it as teenagers who are, going to split up after high school, and allowing the stakes to be life and death for them. I think that feels like an interesting in with a horror movie. And then allowing this friendship game, this literal game that tests those friendships, puts those friendships to the test, and asks the questions, if your friendship doesn't survive the game, then neither do you. That's a very simple statement, but it is loaded because it does have, a narrative metaphor to the childhood nightmare of being left alone, abandonment, which our lead character Zuza has already sort of battled with. In the film, her father has left her family behind. So starting there and allowing the mechanism of the friendship game to test that, I think is what sort of sparks so much of the drama that happens in the movie.
So it's almost like a sense of that we all have this kind of like psychological deep monster within ourselves ever since high school, because I think we all went through that.
Yeah, we definitely did. I mean, it is, you're so full of hormones and you've only really been able to latch onto your friends. Your parents don't know who you are. School system is just on top of you at all times. And the only people who actually understand you are your friends. And the fact that you're going to split up feels like you'll never see them again. And the whole world is over to you. And that, again, that's just a cool spot to start a horror movie.
Well, the cool part to for a horror movie, it's always the prop. Tell us about how your prop master designed this friendship game. I really have no idea what nightmares or stuff in the closet that your prop master came up with.
Well, I think originally it's in the draft. So Damien Ober did write a version of this object, which has always sort of been an amalgamation of a few different materials. And Richard Simpson, our production designer, got really into the idea, and he's always been really into the idea of like ancient civilizations, things that we don't know of. So he worked with a team here in Vancouver and built out sort of language. So if you look at the object itself, there's a language in the 4 different layers that are in it, that all sort of speak to different Aramaic or, Latin or whatever it might be, but it's its own language. So to us, this object has been, around since the beginning of time, and has always been around. And, similar to how the multiverse works as an infinite space, this thing has just infinitely existed in all times. So in that way, it is Lovecraftian nature. And the concurrent circles as it spins and does its thing is that each different layer has different words that need to sort of coalesce in order to distort reality. And that's a lot of what it is. It's not really a multiverse movie, but it's an ultiverse movie. So it's alternate realities, that kind of thing.
And we figure that these type of arcane objects should come with instructions before we actually buy them in garage sales or something.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, the only hint you get is if your friendships don't survive the game, neither do you. So you can kind of make your own choice. You make your own bed at that point.
Now, tell us about doing certain scenes. I don't want to give it to the away, but you kind of alluded to like multiverse, ultiverse, or I would like to say otherworldly scenes that you actually came up with throughout the film.
Yeah, I mean, in the pantheon of cosmic horror, because we're playing with madness, we have a bit of a we play around with an alternate universe, alternate reality, the ultiverse, where you're not really sure, I think, whether you've been transported into another realm or if it's just within your own head. And that to me is exciting as an audience member. Like, you're really kind of questioning what you're seeing, and you're questioning why the characters are reacting their own way, which again, I think is part of that cosmic horror pantheon. Yeah, I forget the question actually.
I was just talking about crafting your scenes on those multiverses scenes.
Yes, I don't want to give away too much, but there is a realm that we do arrive in, and it is a realm at which the physical test, or the sort of metaphorical test of will your friendship survive, becomes a physical test of will you survive when I ask you, have your friendships survived? If your answer is no, I'd watch out. Something may happen when you're in there. And part of the ultiverse in itself is that it becomes its own character, and sort of twists the reality that these characters are going through. So the scene specifically, I don't want to, it's not really in the trailer, so I don't really want to give it away. But yeah, anyways, you might be transported somewhere. I'm not sure. I mean,
well, I have to admit a lot of this stuff in your film is carefully edited to so that we feel transported back and forth. So it's very good. And one more thing, talk about your cast. You have a small intimate cast that you actually use, even though Peyton List is the headline. We have to give credit to the rest of the cast too.
Yeah, I'll probably say this in every interview, but our cast rules. Like, they're such great performers, and I think our approach to all character and acting in general is that they own those characters, and then I'm just there to sort of guide the emotionality of it. And I think that's a good approach to get really genuine performances out of people. Brendan Meyer is so cool, and he's in Color Out of Space, and he's in the OA, which Damien Ober, our writer, also wrote on. And then we've got Caitlin Santawana and Kelsey Moema, and like I think you're going to be surprised by how great everybody is. You may not have known these characters yet, or these actors yet, but I think you will after this. Caitlin was a great find. She didn't do much TV. She was mainly in theater. Great grab for us. I think she's amazing. I really am looking forward to her career. And Kelsey's like all instinct, and just she was incredible in that role. So yeah, Peyton obviously is the headliner, and is, I think this is the realest thing she's ever done, which is exciting for her fans. I think they're going to see a real genuine side of her. So yeah, I think our cast rules. I really liked them. Yeah.
I'm certainly, a lot of people will like this film too. So what's next after the Friendship Game? What's your deepest, darkest desire?
Yeah. My deepest, darkest desire is to take some time off to write. I think is really what I picked up a new office and I've been building it out, but it's, right now it's important to get this film out and for people to start talking about it. So I'm glad to be here. But I would like to take some time off. Movies are hard. And they really take a lot out of you. So I would like to take some time to just write my next one. Yeah.
Most excellent. Well, it's been a pleasure, Scooter. Thank you for speaking to us about the Friendship Game, and hopefully after your time off, you get in the next project and we get to do this again.
Yeah, I hope so, Gig. Thank you.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate it.